I'm Jeff Newby. I'm the president of JHN Incorporated. We do business as Acoustic Glow here in the Southern California area.
My name is Ted Empson with TI Construction. I'm the president.
My name is Jordan McRaven. I do estimating for TI Construction.
Hello, my name is Angel Vera, and I am the CEO of Wine Country Roofing Inc.
My name is Maximiliano or Max Vera. I am the Chief Operation Officer and also the lead estimator for Wine Country Roofing.
So my name's Kevin Panella. I'm the lead estimator here at Preferred Insulation.
I'm Mitch Gusman from Artisan Stoneworks Corp. in Deer Park, New York. We're a custom stone manufacturing and installation company. I am the head estimator, project manager, vice president of sales.
Gosh, how did Stack find us or we found them? That's a really good question. I actually don't know how we first met Stack. I don't think it was by accident. I'm not sure if we found them on the internet or quite how.
Stacks was found by my son, who is the commercial estimator.
When I got introduced to this, it was actually on a free trial from one of my general contractors that gave me a super huge project to bid, which was about maybe 6 to 8 city blocks worth of buildings of a whole neighborhood that they were going to build, and I only had a short amount of time. So when I opened it up, I tried the free trial, and what used to take me 2 to 3 days, I was doing in about 20-30 minutes.
This has been our first cloud type software. We used to do stuff from on paper with the manual scales and the rulers to the electronic rulers, and then we transitioned over straight to the online software that you guys have.
I was using PlanSwift, and we were having issues with our assemblies. One of the general contractors that I bid to sent over a bid invite. I saw Stack on it, and I clicked on it, and from there we went running.
No, we looked at many programs, BVH Craig. We were close on a couple of occasions, but never pulled the trigger until we found Stack and found a comfort level with the program.
We played around with several other types of Takeoff software. As we brought in new employees, they usually brought one with them that they had used in the past and they were happy with.
We kind of held back on it because we had other softwares that come up down the pipeline that were not accurate, and you make a mistake on that and you're tens of thousands of dollars off. So we kind of were hesitant to jump into this new age, but after he proved it a couple of times during the trial periods, it was simply a no-brainer to add it to the way we do things here. Now it seems like, how the hell did we do it without it before?
We used a variety, actually. It's funny because originally, of course, we were measuring paper like everybody else, and we thought when the wheel was invented that was really great, the little digital wheel. In fact, I've still got one here. It's like an antique now, but we thought it was just wonderful when that was invented.
When we started, we used PlanSwift, and then we looked at a couple other ones, but it was mainly just PlanSwift, and then we moved on to Stack.
First impression was it was a little awkward to handle, strictly because I wasn't used to it. And then once I got into it and found my own way around it, very, very comfortable with it.
At first I thought it was a little bit more time consuming, but the farther we got into it, when we took into consideration the plotting of the plans, the trying to find the bid once we got awarded the project, the finding of the plans, taking all that into consideration, we found that it's actually sped up the process quite a bit.
It was a small little learning curve because I didn't have any formal training, but then once I spoke with my trainer Troy over at Stacks, he was able to go ahead and walk me through some of the advantages that it had, and once I started doing that, like some of the hotkeys, then I was able to go ahead and draw a lot faster Then once I started learning how to do labeling, then I was able to take the same templates and just transfer them over and name my different buildings. Then I was able to go ahead and learn about the cost analysis breakdown with all the different materials. So now I could just pass it over to my estimator and he knew what to order and how much to order. And so it started streamlining everything and it was all in one step. So it was actually saving more than just those 2-3 days. It was saving almost a week's worth of work and eliminating a lot of steps that became redundant.
When we first got into it, that was, several generations ago. I mean, it was an absolute infancy. I'm sure we were one of the first 100 customers probably to use it. So of course we had lots of ideas on what to do to improve it and to take it forward. But we've been with Stack for a number of years. I don't remember what year it actually started or what year we started with it, but it's something that has kind of grown up with us.
It's impacted it in a way where we're actually able to become more efficient, be able to take on more leads, be able to finish things ahead of time.
Not having the blueprints printed, it's saving me, $300 to $600 per blueprint, and that right there stacks pays for itself on a yearly basis in 2 or 3 estimates, and the rest of them are free, and also frees up my estimators to go after other jobs.
The problem with most of the traditional Takeoff software is that it lives somewhere in a computer. Maybe it's a server computer, maybe it's an individual computer, maybe you have to have licenses for the different stations. What was important to us is that we could access it from anywhere, which is why we really like the cloud base. Great advantage to be able to access it not only from anywhere we are at home or the office or the job site, but it's even getting it now to where we use it on our smart devices. So the cloud-based system is really the only way to go for our money.
I could pull up plans in a moment's notice and pretty much be talking to someone about the job that they're asking questions on within a few seconds rather than running around the office looking for a set of plans that bid 6 months ago.
In my hands, this is the before stacks. I'm holding $1,000 worth of blueprints here. That's what it costs to get printed. $640, almost for a little over $300. So this is the savings in 2 or 3 projects. Stacks pay for itself for the year. So this is something I don't have to do anymore. And besides, we're saving the trees. And my bank account is fatter because I don't have to pay for all this printing anymore. And we are a lot faster due to stacks.
Well, impact the business is we can do a lot more budgets. So we get to throw, as they say, more spaghetti on the wall. It also gives us a huge amount of accuracy. What's nice is that how it interfaces with spreadsheets and so forth, so we can very quickly share those with others without even having to share the whole Takeoff.
Not having to do the calculations of my area pitch square footage. So since I am a roofing company, I don't have to actually figure out how much more, say if I'm going to do a roof that's a 4-on-12 versus a 12-on-12. I just plug it in, it already does it all automatically for me. And once I've done all my presets as well, then I already figure out all my materials.
I use Stack for estimating purposes. Jacqueline will use my seat occasionally for material allocation prior to doing her layouts. Daisy, our project manager, will use it for calculating change orders. I find that the younger people in the organization love working with the program. We just had to send some takeoffs overseas. They needed them in metric. Jacqueline did the takeoff, converted it to metric, no time flat, got it to our inspector so he didn't have to fumble around the field.
My estimators are really impacted by this because now they get to go home on time to their families and they're not burning the midnight oil trying to meet the deadline of getting those estimates out.
Well, it's had a tremendous impact on our estimators, but they still work hard. We push them a little. So, and I'll call them up in the middle of the night, hey, I need a number for this.
Because of this, I'm able to get it ahead of time and do all my proposal ahead of time. So when I go meet with them, I'm already giving them their number and not taking measurements.
Well, it's had a great impact on productivity, there's no question about that. And it also has eliminated all of the plans we used to have around here.
My job's gotten a lot easier as far as sitting at my desk and basically being able to see exactly what they're doing without, second guessing.
We have landed contracts that we were losing before, and so that's given us business. We've increased our personnel by 50% because of the additional work that we're capturing due to the ability to get our pricing and estimates out with the help from Stacks.
I like the fact that I can discuss something with my brother who may be overseas. He can look at what I'm doing. He can log on anywhere. I love when I'm doing an estimate, if I got a question, I can PDF, mark up that drawing, send it out as part of my RFI. We've done phasing diagrams with it. It's impacted everything we do.
Well, the time is cut down tremendously because we haven't had to make separate material lists or separate budgets for items because they all come in the reports that are in the Stack software. And once we learned how to use that, it cut down our time in half in our estimating department, so we're able to get out more bids. And the more bids we can get out, the more projects we can do.
I love how the younger people just gravitate to it. You can't get a young person to do manual takeoffs, and I'm drifting away from it even.
Just that it saves so much time. It just makes it real easy to get in and get the job done and not spend a lot of time, trying to price things and add items and assemblies and all of that. It just saves me a lot of time so I can get more work done.
The simplicity of it and the being able to build assemblies and put items in there relatively easy. That would be my favorite part about the Stack.
It's easy. It's intuitive. I mean, it's so intuitive that we can teach someone how to use it in a matter of a couple of days. Our current estimator has been with us about 3 months now, and we had him up and working the second day he was here.
Stacks is the way to go.